going on, family? What's going on? TSpeaks here. Listen, welcome to another session of How to Find a Wife. Reason why we go through this is because I believe brothers such as myself and other men can use a little help, maybe a few pointers on how to actually find a wife. We have people, men on one side, women on another, and I noticed that they just are staying on the sides. And everybody's kind of like playing. And no one's really serious. But everybody, like 90% of the people that I talk to, even the ones that say initially, I don't want a wife or I don't want a husband, now I'm good. They really, really do. They want a spouse. They want somebody to grow old with. They want somebody basically to listen, to have gone through the pandemic with. And anything else is coming down the road. I heard someone say it, very poignant. It takes two hands to clap. Clap. You can't clap with one hand. And listen, even the Bible speaks about, listen, it's better to have two, because who's going to keep you warm when it's cold? And guess what? It does get cold. And sometimes, I'm not talking about just the weather. Sometimes the world itself can be cold. So that's why we do these sessions, how to find a wife, how to find a husband, or really how to be found by a husband. So I try to give pointers and tips, things that I learned, things that I'm practicing, things that I've heard, in hopes of having a real dialogue, hopes of really having someone that actually says, wait a minute, I didn't think about that. Maybe I will try that, and it ends up in marriage. And maybe just, maybe this evening, as before we go off, maybe we'll let some people that speak, want to give some words, some that are single looking for a spouse, or some that are already married successfully. Because people can be married, but not everybody not everyone is happily married, has a happy marriage, and really want to be married. Some people are married out of convenience. Some people are married for financial reasons. Some people are married just because they don't want to be alone. They don't want to face the laborious task of trying to find a spouse. Look out for my book also, too. I'm Divorced Now What? Because it speaks about that. Because most people don't want to be alone, so they do what they can or what they have to do to stay married or to get married, but sometimes it's for the wrong reason. So what I endeavor for all of us to do is practice and do it for the right reason. So, my brother, how to find a wife. The point that I want to bring tonight in terms of how to find a wife, is to stop messing with women who you know are not going to be your wife. Stop playing with little girls. But I'm going to say it like this. Stop spreading yourself around as opposed to focusing on the woman that's in front of you. Because what men will do, and by the way, everybody always know already, I opened the book up in terms of men, because a lot of men, why are you speaking these truths and all of this? But I think a lot of it is necessary for good dialogue and for understanding. So I kind of give you the playbook, if you will, my sisters, in order to help you. My brother, if you really want to find a wife, what you have to stop doing is playing or messing with women who you know are not your wife. It's been said that women know if they're going to sleep with the man, deal with the man within the first 3 to 5 minutes. Well, I'm here to tell you, likewise, men know when they're going in to say hello, what they want from a woman. After hello, in the next couple of minutes, certainly by the first date, we know exactly where we're going to put you at. We've already categorized you as a jump off, which is just one and done. You're going to smash and dash. A side piece, which means you're going to sit there on the side when I want you, when it's convenient for me, when it's convenient for you, but mostly me. I'm going to accept you. Or somebody that I'm going to really take my time, get to know, and see where it goes, which means I'm interested in a long haul. And initially, you're showing the signs that you can be. And straight up, you have some men that meet somebody and go, you know what? Oh, no, she's the one. I'm going to give it all to her. I'm going to open up the floodgates of my heart. In terms of, I'm going to engage all the 5 love languages, and I'm going to get her in to where I want her to be, which is in the lane to being my woman, to being engaged, and to be married. But my brother, in order to really find a wife, what you cannot do, no, let me not say that. What I suggest you don't do, because you can do obviously what you want, because, hey, you're a grown man, right? Or you're at least a male. Whether you're a man, that's not for me to decide, but you are definitely a male. What I suggest you do is don't play with women who you know are not going to be your wife. And here's the reason why. Because when you have, say, 3 women that you just, and I say playing with because it's ultimately not going to go anywhere. It's amazing to me how many people date these days, know they're not going to marry the person, and still just, they're looking for a husband, looking for a wife, know they're not going to marry the person that they're with, but they use the person almost like a place setting. For example, I'm going to hang out with you. We're going to go on trips together. We're going to literally meet each other's family. We're going to meet each other's kids. We're going to host holidays together. All of these things. We're going to sleep together. We're going to give cards and spend real occasions like Christmas together and Thanksgiving. And you know you're not going to marry that person. So you're basically, in essence, giving the best part of you to someone who you know is not going to really have you all the way. Meaning they're not going to be your wife. They're not going to be your husband. So my brother, how is it that you can actually give? You're messing with two women. Let's just say two women. You meet a third one. They're all nice. They all got different things going for them. You're interested. They're interested in you. And instead, you're dating them, quote unquote dating, which means basically you're enjoying every bit of the milk, every bit of what they have. They're enjoying you as well. So it's even swap, ain't no swindle. You get from me as much as I get from you. Like DMX said, God rest his soul, for real. He said, I gave you, you gave me. I had sex with you, you had sex with me. I gave you money, you gave me money. So we're basically doing the things as we would as a couple, but we're not really a couple. The problem with that is the woman that you will meet and could be your wife, you literally are, number one, you're giving parts of you to someone else. So you can't possibly give all of you to her. So she has to get the portion of you that's left from the people that you're still seeing. So as you're meeting her on Thursday, you just met her, you already had two that you were already used to, and we can get into soul ties in another conversation, because the moment you start sleep with someone, it is true, I believe it. You slept with every person they slept with, but you also got intertwined in your soul with them. And here's a perfect example you all can test on yourselves. By the way, share this out if you don't mind, especially if you know a brother or sister that are looking to get married. You ever try to break up with somebody you know that's not good for you, and for some reason you keep going back? They keep pulling you back. One word and you're back together with them. Or you're sitting and you're just doing whatever. You're sitting and watching TV, reading the newspaper. I don't think people read the newspaper anymore, but you're looking at IG. You're looking at all the apps. You're looking at the stock market. And all of a sudden, the person that you vowed you never want to see, never want to speak to, never even want to interact with again, because you know they're no good to you and good for you. Instead, they pop into your mind and you call them up. Hey, what's going on? This is the way the text goes. Hey, what's going on? Just thinking about you. You good? Just checking on you. I had a dream about you. You good? And what that basically does is open the lines of communication again. That's oftentimes a soul tie that are not easily broken, established like that. Especially if you and the woman or the man that you're dealing with have a lot of common things. Things that you really, really, really connect with on. For example, you and that person like to take long walks in the park. You and that person, I don't care what it is, you love to eat strawberries on Saturday with the cream, with the whipped cream. Whatever it is, you tend to not be able to get that person out your system. So when you're meeting this woman on Thursday who could be your wife, you have these other two women who are in your soul, so to speak, and they're just there. You've already established something with them. And then you're going to take that, mess over to a woman who could be your wife. Instead of walking to them almost, if you will, as a clear vessel, clean vessel. You're going to pollute yourself or have yourself connected to someone else. You can't possibly find your wife and have tunnel vision toward her if you're constantly going, I'm looking at your wife, I'm looking at your wife. Hold on one sec. Not only that, the other women are always going to be a way of escape. They're going to be the ones that you can always use as a crutch, as a justification to step out on, as a reason to perhaps not look in or work something out with said wife or a woman that could be a wife. And not only that, you don't even learn how to really do conflict resolution because of the simple fact, I don't have to resolve anything with you. Yeah, you good, and I see you and all of that, but yo, I could always go over to Barber House. I could always see Donna because Donna don't give me this grief. Donna doesn't give you the grief because Donna knows she's only here for a period of time. You are not going to be her husband, so she's getting from you like you get from her. So Donna is always going to be perfect. Why? Because it's not really weighed by realistic expectations. I don't expect anything from you. She doesn't expect anything from you. So therefore, nobody's expecting anything. We just kind of going with the flow. We're going with the flow and we're not going anywhere. It's like a ship with no compass that's just moving around. It'll never hit shore. It'll never be solid. Ooh, solid ground is having a wife. You'll never have the favor of the Lord with her because she's not going to be a wife. So you can't obtain favor. All you're going to get is favors from her. Favors. And both of you are good with that. So you take that pail and you go over to the woman who could be your wife and you want her to give you, number one, the men are good with this, your undivided attention. You want her to make you her sole purpose for living. She is supposed to live, die, and breathe for you, and yet you're not doing the same for her. How do you know how much more you could get from this woman and get with this woman? From and with, if you're never stepping up to the plate fully. It's almost like driving in a car with one of your legs out or the door open. You're going somewhere, not nearly as fast as you could, certainly not as strong as you could, and you're also not getting to where you're supposed to get in the condition that you're supposed to get into, because relationships, let's face it, family, relationships wear on you. Whether or not you are actually like in a strong distance, like a long-term relationship or a short-term, relationships are difficult. Relationships are definitely not the kind where you just go, you know what? Oh yeah, it's a walk in the park. You get to a cruising altitude after climbing through turbulence, a lot of it. Your threshold for even, like I said, resolving conflict or even knowing how to actually work things out is going to be minimized because you've given probably the best parts of you to the other women that you're seeing on the side. You can't find a wife like that. Because see, one of the things I firmly believe, you find a wife, she deserves the very best of you. Let me take it a step further. She deserves all of you. Because here's the thing. You likewise, my brother, deserve all of her. You deserve the best of her. So if you have one person extending and giving everything they possibly can, the way it's supposed to go is you extend, they give. That's a lock because both sides are taking. But what happens when you are going somewhere else is you're getting from her and you're giving this person, and a little more to you. It'll never be right. And I know Teddy Pendergrass said it a while ago, not talking about 70-30 or 60-40, but what it's really supposed to be is 100%. 100. I don't want anybody that's going to give me 30% and I give 70. I'm going to give you 100% of me. Now here's the difference. 100% of a gallon of water is bigger than 100% of this bottle, 16.9 ounces. I can give 100% of my gallon, but do me a favor. Give me your whole 16.9. You'll never be able to match me in my love. You'll never be able to match what I give because that's just how God made me. I give an overabundance of love and concern, conjuring up things and thoughts always in order to express what? Express how I feel about you. And if I'm going to marry you, I love you. But how can you get to that love part, my brother, if this woman can never get your whole self? If she can't get 100% of you because you're spreading yourself, just waiting. These are place setters. Those women are just in your sphere, but they're not doing anything there. They're just satisfying, I hate to say this like this, they're satisfying a lust. And it doesn't have to always be sex, but it still can be the things of the flesh. And when you are going to find a wife, I'm going to take it a step further. It is going to be a connection in your spirit, right down in your soul. The Bible is specific when it says, let no man put us under. Who God puts you together, the two shall become one. You can't separate one if you want to. You can't do it. You cannot do it. A house divided cannot stand. You are literally supposed to give her 100% of you. Get the mixes out. I'm talking about, and when I say mixes, I mean the different people that are mixed and intertwined within your spirit. Get them out. When you offer her you, even when you're starting down the road, how is it that a woman can see you and meet you and think to herself, he's got some character to him. He smells nice. Let me see. Women look, his teeth are decent. His fingernails are okay. You know, he dresses okay. He's holding and handling his business, taking care of his kids. Maybe he could be. So she starts walking with you, thinking, hoping perhaps that you've done the same thing. And you going, you know, she chill. She good. I ain't ready to focus on her yet. Why? Because 3 is better than 1. No, it's not. So the other 2 and her are better than just her. No, it's not. You just think that because you selfishly want the other 2 to stay around and you want the best parts of her now. So if you're looking for a wife, don't look for a girl. Don't look for another girl. Don't look for somebody just to come into your life, just to be there until you make a decision. And besides, real men make decisions on what they want. Real men are not complacent. Real men don't walk you all the way up to the gate and go, I don't know if I want to go in. No, real men commit. And real men stay. Real men stick and they stay for real. Now, don't get me wrong. I know there's always exceptions. There are always times when it just couldn't work. You did everything that you could. But that's what a real man does. He does everything that he possibly can. And when he feels like he can't do anymore, he goes further. He does more. He gives more. And I always hold it like this. As a man, you are mandated to not only take the first step, but the last one too. You see, it starts and ends with you. And I'll give it to you in a biblical sense. Jesus came. He died. Crucified. Died and rose again. The ending part. He came. Died. Crucified and died. Was buried. But then rose. He's at the forefront. He's the Alpha and Omega. The beginning and the end. So on the inception of your hello, it'll never, ever let it get to goodbye. Because see, a man knows how to hold on. Through thick and thin, a man can hold on. But what we need to start doing is committing up front. Committing what? Committing us. Committing us. I heard someone say before, you need some sweat equity into it. You need to push literally you to the middle of the table and go, I'm all in. Let's see where this is going. She deserves that. Why? Because she's giving you that. Go all in. You want to find a wife? Go all in. Cut them off beforehand. Because it takes a while for that stuff to filter out. If you ever filter anything out and you kind of like put it through the colander or the filter, you pour it the first couple times, every bit does not come out. So as you pulling away on a Thursday, every bit of who you're talking to won't probably be gone on a Saturday. It's going to take maybe a while longer. I suggest if you really want a wife, let me see this. Put it like this. Be in a position to receive a wife. Woo-hoo. How the Bishop Jake said, I'm going to get my own tape. If you want to find a wife, be in a position to receive a wife. Be in a position to it. Meaning, I can't take anything except that if my hands are closed. If my heart is not open to her, how can I possibly take her as my wife? How can I possibly even have someone, and she's probably not going to come in straight into your life and go, I'm your wife. No, but she'll come in with some attributes, the things that you need. And your spirit will probably, I pray to God, it bears witness that, wait a minute, there's something different about her. There's something peculiar about her. The way she walks, the way she talks, it soothes my soul. The way she holds me down. it's really great. When I talk to her for a moment, she can hear the voice inflection and go, baby, what's the matter? On her low, she started coming in and seeing what she could absolutely do in order to enhance my life. Likewise, you walk in seeing straight. What's the dynamics of your life? You got 2.5 kids? Got those. You got a dog? Got that. You got a vehicle? Is it going to house all of us? Okay, I'm going to need another one. I'm writing notes right there to start. That's how men do. We plan first, and then we do what? We execute. But you won't ever get to the planning. Why? Because you're already executing a little something over here. Nah. If you want to find a wife, lock in. Get ready. And I said it before. Every woman's going to come with some issues. Just like every man's going to walk with some issues. But it doesn't mean that you have to stay with those issues. And somebody has said before, oh, a man isn't supposed to solve the woman's issues. Maybe, maybe not, but I'm certainly supposed to provide space and opportunity for those issues to get resolved. Maybe I'm not supposed to fix them, but I can certainly be a shoulder for you to lean on, a chest for you to feel. I got you, baby. Arms that say, you know what? I got you. Whatever you need, I got. Why? Because I want the best of you. I want the best of you. And I'm going to give you the best of me. That's it, my brother. You want to find a wife? Give her the best of you. She deserves it. And her love is far more valuable than all the riches in the world. All the riches in the world. Why do you think you have a deep yearning for a wife, even though you have all your stuff around you? Even though you have your car, you have your money, you have your trips, you have your boys and all that. Why is it that you think there's something that the world can't give you that you still long and desire for? Because I believe that was placed inside of you by the Creator himself. My God. Yeah. To have some type of, like a GPS, like I need to find that rib. I need to find a honing device. I need to get back to my whole self. You check any man that's really doing it big. I'm talking about really doing it. He got a wife. He got a wife. He got a wife. And I'm not talking about, I know there's dudes that's holding down, got business, he got millions and all that, and they single and all that. Yeah. You have those exceptions. But I'm talking about doing it all the way around, not just in a monetary way, not in a possession way. I'm talking about mind, heart, soul, body, all of it. That you kind of get when you add a wife to the equation. Don't ask me why. I just don't know, but that's actually it. There's something that draws us. We have the propensity to actually want and gravitate toward a wife. The problem is, stop going through girls. Find your wife, brother. So put the APB out on a wife. Stop playing with the women. I'm not going to say girls. Stop playing with the women that you know are not going to be your wife, waiting as place setters until you find your wife. Because your wife she deserves the best of you. So if you're spending time 2-3 days a week with these women, can you be working on your business at that time? Because when you meet your wife, isn't she going to need you to be already in your lane and making things happen? She's going to come alongside you and add to that. That's what a wife does. That's what a wife does. And I'm not talking about a woman, and I had people say all kind of things. I appreciate all those, the positive comments and then the positive comments, because none of them are negative. But no, a wife is also supposed to come in and see what she can do to get that man in order. Because sometimes, let's face it, we are like wild broncos. We got all the power in the world. Sometimes lack this right here. I'm not going to front. I know I said that, brothers. I apologize. Sometimes we lack that. You know what I'm saying? On the real, we lack what it takes to get there fully. That's what a wife does. So my brother, if you want to find a wife, stop looking for a girl. That's what it is tonight. How to find a wife? Don't look for a girl. Cut off the girls and be ready for that wife. Trust me, you'll be happy you did. She'll be here. Right on time, not a moment late, not a moment too soon. You do what you're supposed to do in anticipation of her. That's right. Get up. I pray every single day for my wife that I'm going to find. Not a woman. You can marry anybody, but marry a wife, your wife. I'm TSpeaks. Let me hear about those good stories about you meeting, met, married, in the building of life. I need to hear about that part. I appreciate all of you that always hit me up and be like, hey, listen, that was a great one. That was really good. Let's take the next step. Let's position ourselves to get what it is that we need, which is our soulmate, our partners, our spades partners. I love you. I'm TSpeaks, family.